Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Ben. People seem to like our video on how Darth Vader would run America, and one viewer suggested that we do Count Dooku next. So that's what we're going to do. This is how Count Dooku would run the United States of America. So let's say Count Dooku and a small fleet of ships with the Separatist Council on board end up in orbit of Earth. They get flung through a wormhole or something, but anyway, they can't return home, so they're looking for a planet to settle on, and they scan the Earth and discover the most advanced country is the United States of America. Some people criticized us for saying this in our last video, saying the US isn't as advanced as places like Japan, etc. I would disagree with this, because although places like Japan have more technology out in society, robotic manufacturing, toilets that open by themselves and wash your butt, etc., they normally rank higher on indexes geared towards consumer technology, but the US has it where it counts.
She's got it where it counts, kid.
The United States military is the most advanced in the world, and in addition to this, the US has partnered with several aliens to create tech companies that have collected the personal information of almost every single person in the world. And it's this stuff that really matters to Dooku, or Vader, in the previous video. In addition, the United States is ranked as the most competitive economy in the world, which makes it look the most suitable for rapid advancement and integration of separatist technology. So Dooku's ships pull up into orbit over the United States. The US Northern Command orders ballistic missile submarines to be ready to fire, and Defense Secretary Mad Dog Mattis orders DEFCON 1. But Count Dooku then sends out a greeting of friendship to the United States and arranges to meet the president. President Trump meets Dooku at Mar-a-Lago and introduces him to a game that will become one of Dooku's favorite pastimes. The two leaders get along great, but Dooku has done his homework, taking the time to read Trump's book before he landed. And he goes in with the classic Trump deal-making move: ask for way more than you want and have the other side negotiate you back to what you actually wanted. Dooku asks Trump if he minds him turning the US into a slave colony. Trump of course objects, but he knows that Dooku holds all the cards in this negotiation, so he settles for resigning and going back to running his Trump organization and letting the separatists take over in exchange for a guarantee that Americans will remain free. The Trump organization also becomes the official hotel provider of the Separatist Alliance, giving them a 10% discount and free Trump steaks.
Trump steaks are the world's greatest steak, 5-star gourmet, quality that belong in a very, very select category of restaurant, and are certified Angus beef prime.
Oh, and Count Dooku also gives Trump a copy of his book. With the president out the way, Dooku appoints himself as leader and embarks on the mission of bringing the United States up to the same technological level as the Separatist Alliance. This is where the Separatist Council come into play. Sam Hill, chairman of the International Banking Plan, takes over as head of the Federal Reserve. He teaches the humans new ways of manipulating interest rates and currency exchanges, making the US economy even more competitive than before. General Grievous takes over as Defense Secretary. Mad Dog Mattis asks Grievous if he can stay on in the department. Mattis has dedicated his life to the study of war and views this new situation as a great opportunity to learn. Grievous agrees, and the two even enjoy playful lightsaber duels after work. The US Army, except for small groups of special forces, is disbanded and replaced with battle droids. Then they start upgrading the Air Force. The airmen are very impressed with the Vulture droid, which takes on 5 F-22 Raptors at a time in practice war games and wins. They aim for a fully droid Air Force within 3 years. They even start developing a Space Force, bringing the former president's dream into reality.
We're getting very big in space, both militarily and for other reasons, and we are seriously thinking of the Space Force.
Shumai of the Commerce Guild takes over Wilbur Ross's position as Commerce Secretary. She works with Wat Tabmore, the foreman of the Techno Union, to reach out to the US's most high-tech companies, especially those specializing in automation, robotics, and space travel, to form joint ventures using separatist technology. The Techno Union teach them how to create a fully automated mining operation, extracting helium-free from the moon and from Jupiter and using it as fuel in nuclear fusion reactors, which provide almost unlimited energy. With the new business ventures up and running, they employ most of the 1 million or so recently discharged soldiers to manufacture mining equipment and battle droids. The US economy starts growing at a phenomenal rate, with annual GDP growth hitting 30%. Early investors become millionaires overnight, and that wealth trickles down throughout society. Speaking of society, Dooku does things a little differently. He can't understand why the humans have been using their execution arenas for sports, so he puts them back to their proper use, using various beasts from the many execution beast holding facilities which can be found throughout most major cities. Most of the animals will naturally attack humans, but some needed to be trained. He solves the southern border immigration problem by installing 2 fences 100 feet across with lions in between. Illegal border crossings immediately drop to historic lows, and those that do make it across are awarded citizenship for their bravery and strength. Cafes open up, playing live feeds of the border fence where onlookers can watch and bet on who will make it across. The game comes to be known as the Gauntlet. Apart from it being a little bit more authoritarian than people are used to, Americans do otherwise have a pretty good quality of life under Dooku's regime. People have more free time thanks to increased automation. Wages have risen and fuel prices have dropped thanks to the unlimited energy. With starships built according to Trade Federation schematics, the US can now ship items faster than anyone else. Amazon starts offering 10-minute shipping to anywhere within the solar system. There is, however, a little bit of resistance from within the US from a group called the Neo-Luddites, who oppose the new technology that costs them their jobs. They're mostly made up of former soldiers, out-of-work Uber drivers, and laid-off commercial pilots. They use primitive Earth weapons to sabotage production facilities and automated vehicles, but they often get arrested and find themselves battling killer penguins at Citi Field, former home of the New York Mets. There's also a little bit of resistance from anti-colonialists who think that because Dooku has a hereditary title and a British accent, he somehow represents the King of England. Those guys also rise up but fail to topple the regime. Trump's businesses thrive under Dooku, and he has become the world's first trillionaire. Since he knew what was going to happen from the very beginning, he was an early investor in Elon Musk's moon mining operation, under one condition, that Musk plaster Trump's name across everything. But he still kind of wishes that it was him who created the Space Force, not Dooku, and he often lashes out on Twitter. But the two remain good friends. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. I think apart from the obvious changes to the justice system, life actually wouldn't be bad under Dooku's regime, since the Confederacy of Independent Systems already has similar capitalist principles to the United States, and all that extra technology would make our country even better. They would make America great. For the 3rd time. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're new, please subscribe. And if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.